sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Washington football team. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now Prescott. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big connection on that one. 34 yards. 37-yard line. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. He gets away from one. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, New Orleans. Well, for Alvin Kamara, that speed-size combo, just about exactly what you want for a running back, and he uses that size, that strength to bust through a would-be tackler there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Off off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll just get rid of it. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
On play action, they'll throw. And he wisely will throw that one away. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now. He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield, instead checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. A give. This is Kamara. He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Brings up 2nd and 7. Prescott. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 33. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front.
But he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Another try after the 1st down sack. Prescott. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Stephon Tuitt able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Throwing, Prescott. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession. And the first play will be a field goal try. And his kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. The play-action fake, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A nice throw right there. And, Charles, this is game number 2 in the NFL for this young rookie. His guys getting the victory last week, and he played pretty well by most accounts. Curious, what did you see?
I saw something similar to what you described, Brandon, because I saw a guy who looked the part, a guy who was in command, not just with the touchdown passes, but definitely looked to be in control of the offense as well. And you and I both know that's often uncommon for a rookie quarterback.
2nd and 3.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run with Gibson. Able to slither by, and he will have a first down here at about the 40. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Here's Gibson. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Looking to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Jamin Davis there to bring him down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at their 49-yard line.
2nd and 5. On the ground, this is Kamara. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. He gets this complete to Cephas. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Play action now. Prescott. He finds his man. Complete. That's Chavez. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of the team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And a throw right sideline is complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And Washington able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
17. Washington, 7. Michael Dixon set to kick off.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And he'll take a shot here for Hooper downfield. And shutting him off, now open field. Touchdown, New Orleans. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump. And he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone. And
you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. The 40. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
3 at the 32-yard line.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Prescott. This one taken in by Cephas. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Saints will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they'll take over with just 16 ticks remaining before intermission. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. He's going to let it go again. And that is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. He'll drop to throw. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A big play that time on the catch and run. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And Washington able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
31. Washington, 21. Michael Dixon set to kick off.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Check three.
They run it again with Kamara. 62 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Off the play fake, Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling. Held it to an okay gain.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 26.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Running the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. Down right around the 25. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
That is caught inside the 5. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
You got nothing. Mike 2, Mike 2.
2nd down and goal. Prescott. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
From the 3-yard line again, they'll try and punch it in here on 3rd and goal. Here's Prescott. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. So a big sack for a loss of 4. It brings up 4th and goal. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And his kick is good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for it.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown, Washington. DK Metcalf, 79 yards. And Washington has made this a one-score game. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Washington, 28. Michael Dixon sets the kickoff.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general and the quarterback, because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To throw is Prescott. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. A big-time play there for New Orleans.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Here's Kamara out of the pistol. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
Second and 11. On play action, Prescott. forced out to his left. Prescott able to get down there at the end on the slide, and he has the first as well. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
The ball mere inches from the white line on 3rd and goal. Prescott to throw it. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Saints are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. So here now is Prescott as his guys will go for the 2-point conversion. Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth quarter lead.
Washington, 28.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay,
and this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
They go play action here on first down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. DK Metcalf with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And Washington able to make this a close game again. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
35. Michael Dixon.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here, or do you... Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Gets around him, and he will be out of bounds. A good yardage there, and he'll get a second to catch his breath as it leads us right into the 2-minute warning. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll run. It's Gibson. Oh, look at the juke. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 67 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
They'll run with Gibson. And he fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th.
Michael Dixon set to kickoff.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Prescott. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Check nickel. Hey, kill. 47.
Prescott. It's complete. Kamara. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
10 at the 41-yard line.
47.
Here's Dak. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. 4 down.
Here's Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 34-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. Mike 2.
Now Dak. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's throwing it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
On second down, Kamara. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And his kick is good. He knocks through his 3rd field goal of the game, and this one is the one that decides it. And Bourbon Street, it'll be alive tonight. The Saints have won it. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking.